LGBT plus rights have progressed differently in different parts of the world. Although significant progress has been made in the last few years, there are still about 3 billion people living in countries where consensual same-sex activities are criminalized. It is therefore our collective responsibility as organizations and individuals to make sure that no one is left behind. We must give our time and money to organizations dedicated to the well-being of members of the LGBT plus community. We must confront hate in all its forms throughout our lives and in our communities. To all my LGBT plus people listening, especially those from anti-LGBT plus countries, you are enough. Nature doesn't make mistakes. I love you so much.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Alesia Lund de Perú. Soy docente y diseñadora gráfica especializada en caligrafía, lettering e ilustración. Soy además mamá de una niña de 9 años que se llama Emma y un niño de 5 que se llama Liam. Soy además activista feminista por los derechos sexuales y reproductivos y por los derechos de la comunidad LGTBI, porque además soy bisexual. Juntando todo esto es que hace un par de años nace el proyecto de educación sexual integral que se llama Emma y yo, que genera material didáctico para que los adultos, papás, mamás, educadores, podamos hablar de sexualidad de manera clara, simple y directa con niñas, niñas y adolescentes. Este material lo estoy distribuyendo de manera gratuita en redes sociales. Estamos en Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Y lo que intento es difundir la importancia de la educación sexual para prevenir la violencia de género y la discriminación en general que se da en la sociedad. Una de las cosas más lindas que me ha tocado del proyecto es poder descubrir que desde lo que yo hago, que es el diseño gráfico, que son letritas y dibujitos, estoy pudiendo de a pocos aportar a la sociedad en esta causa de la que creo tanto. Así que nada, nos vemos dentro de un rato en el ICDO Voices of Change para conversar más al respecto. Un abrazo.
Hello darlings, my name is Deni, my pronouns are they, them, I identify as non-binary and queer, and I am here today with the International Cultural Diversity Organization as part of their Voices of the Change initiative. Talk to you about an issue and a topic that I'm very passionate about and one that hopefully inspires and motivates some change. Now what I would like to talk to you about today is gender identity and how we as a collective can make this world a safer place for trans people. I very proudly identify as trans non-binary. However, sadly, within the country that I live in alone, trans youth are 11 times more likely to attempt suicide than their cis counterparts. The reason why this is because we exist in a world that favors the cis and heterosexual, and we are constantly reminded by our governments, by society, by healthcare, by science, that we are different, when actually we're incredibly normal. We have always been here, and we are just the same as everyone else. The change that I would like to inspire is to send a call to action to all parts of the world, from our government to our everyday humans existing, to the media industry, to the marketing industry, to the fashion, the beauty industry, the industries in which I work in every single day. We all can play our part in creating a world where trans people feel safe, where they feel respected, where they are valued as equal members of the human race. Because trans people are valid. Their lives matter. And I would urge you to really think about the way that you exist in your workplaces, in your everyday lives. When you go to vote, think about people, organizations, leaders that are changing the way, that are creating a safe world for trans people to exist in. We owe it to our trans siblings. I'm really proud to be part of this movement, and I can't encourage you more to use your voice for change. Thanks for having me.
Hi, my name is Parisa Tahiri. I'm an Instagram influencer living in Vienna, and I also write short stories. In my Instagram account, I try to empower my female followers through presenting out-of-box outfits and also explaining my real-life stories about success and difficult times. I tell these stories to them so they know that they can also do it. If I could do it, they can do it too, because we are not different. I tell them about my success stories so they know that all you need to succeed is to believe in yourself, use all the skills that you have learned in your life. Just keep going, keep your faith, you're gonna be there. I also share the story of difficult times of my life with them, so they also know that if I could go through it and come out as a better and stronger woman, they can also do so. One of the stories that my followers love a lot is the story of me creating a page for the woman called Iris Apfel. Yes, I know you know this woman. Back then, years ago, I saw an advertisement with her bold face, and I was like, who is this woman? I searched a lot, but I couldn't find any name. It took me a few days to search on internet and find out who she was, but still I couldn't find any page for her on Instagram or Facebook or any proper fan page. So I thought, she deserves to have a page because she was inspiring. I created a page for her on Instagram and started posting pictures and videos on a daily basis. It was not easy back then to find content about her online because she was not internationally very famous. Of course, in the upper class of New York and also among some very well-known fashion designers, she was known, but not everyone on this planet. So I opened a page for her and used the research skill I gained in the university years ago, which I thought they would be completely useless in my life, to find videos and pictures of her. And I succeeded. The page started to grow over time. People were tagging each other, they were talking about her because she was truly inspiring. And one day, when the page exceeded 500K or so, her friend Carmen Bruni contacted me asking who I was and why I was running this page. I can imagine they maybe thought I was a stalker. So I explained to her why I was doing this. And I also told her that I was searching for contact information of Iris Apfel to tell her that she was already receiving a lot of job inquiries. So I talked to her directly and I explained her everything. And from that point, I was sending her all the job inquiries she was receiving. And she became more and more internationally famous, not only in the upper class. She became 100 years old 2 days ago, and I'm so happy for her to have done this because making her internationally famous was my dream, which I never thought would come true, but it came. And this story tells people that if they use all the skills they have and they believe in themselves and they enjoy what they're doing and they keep going, they can achieve their dreams. I believe that the Voices of Change is a great opportunity bringing a diverse number of women with different stories together, whereby we can tell other women on this planet that if we could do it, you can do it too, because we are not different and we are all the same.
Soy Ottazzi, peruana, comunicadora audiovisual, feminista, activista por los derechos sexuales y reproductivos y creadora del blog La Mujer al Borde, una cuenta en Instagram en donde comparto contenido alrededor del empoderamiento femenino, el amor propio y la salud sexual. Cuando empecé el blog lo hice porque estaba completamente aburrida del contenido tan surreal y falso de las redes sociales y sin darme cuenta empecé a tener una voz alrededor de la necesidad de ser independientes económica y emocionalmente, de tener control sobre nuestra salud sexual, sobre nuestra salud mental, de decidir la profesión que querramos, de romper con los roles y los estereotipos de género, de eliminar todo tipo de discriminación, de ser aliadas con la comunidad LGTBIQ, de hacer respetar y conocer nuestros derechos y sobre todo de hacer y ser quien coño querramos ser. Algunos me llamaron loca e intensa y otros me llamaron empoderadora. Yo creo que soy un poco de ambos. Y en este camino a contracorriente me di cuenta que hablar de empoderamiento es imposible sin hablar de una interseccionalidad, de poder dar mi plataforma desde mi privilegio a todas las voces y a todas las mujeres que han sido históricamente racializadas, marginalizadas, discriminadas. A entender que una vez que tú encuentras tu voz, es tu labor entonces ayudar al resto a que lo encuentre. Porque para mí esa es la base de todo feminismo, el empoderamiento colectivo. No se trata de solo una voz. El cambio viene cuando muchísimas voces se unen.
Hello, my name is Sebastian Bakker and I'm a human rights lawyer, activist from Chile, and I would love to talk about the importance of surveillance, privacy and digital security among human rights defenders. Some weeks ago, it was released the Pegasus Scandal. This case was denounced by Amnesty International and Forbidden Stories, revealing that more than 180 journalists, activists and human rights defenders from 21 different countries were unlawful and arbitrarily monitored by this click-free spyware called Pegasus. This spyware permits the control and monitor all kinds of activities from cell phones, including check emails, WhatsApp chats, activate a location, and even turn on cameras and voice recording, everything without the consent of the user. This spyware was produced by the Israeli company NSO Group. Human rights defenders, activists, and journalists have never been more vulnerable than now in terms of surveillance. Technologies in the digital age are not being used to prevent terrorist attacks, but to monitor and surveil human rights defenders. Governments around the world are using surveillance to stop discourses that denounce human rights violations and corruption cases. This Pegasus scandal has revealed how fragile has become privacy in the digital age and how important it is to protect it. Privacy is a shield for the exercise of other human rights, including freedom of expression and right to assembly. Privacy is more exposed than ever because of the power of surveillance. In light of this, organizations in the field of human rights must take seriously the digital security and their privacy, including taking cybersecurity measures not only to protect themselves, but also their work. In times of COVID, when everything turned online, it's an essential tool, digital security, for all human rights defenders around the world. On the other hand, companies and states must be accountable for this clear violation of human rights. This case concerns not only digital rights activists, but the entire world of human rights, including land defenders, environmental activists, and journalists, who are objective targets from repressive governments. Finally, I would like to invite the whole ICDO community and all members who are participating in this Congress to condemn this surveillance against human rights activists and increase digital security within your organizations. Thank you very much.